I think good to
I need
go.
to get my phone charger on
Look in.
8%.
All right. Let me see. I know how to do this shit. Oh, that's so confusing. Okay. I'm watching videos on my own live. I make this to where we can do a chat so people can ask questions or whatever else too.
Okay. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. How can I set this damn boat up? I got to be able to set it up on something, I reckon. That work? Oh. Kind of. Really?
All this shit's so confusing.
That works. That works. Freezing, dude. It's fucking cold out here.
How cold is it? You're in Pennsylvania, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
How cold?
it warmed up a lot today, which is cool, but it's been cold.
What's warm to you?
What's warm to me? Dude, I got cold blood or something, dude. Warm to me is like fucking I have a hard
30.
time riding it. It's got to be above 40, you know?
Yeah. Which is, what's crazy is moving to Tennessee. I hate being cold, and that's the one thing that I despise, and I always whine. Moving here, I've definitely gotten thicker skin for sure. Because man, I was fucking in my shop and it's 8 degrees. It's been pretty.
You've
It's
had it
different.
easy in California, dude. It's been warm. Now you move here
Yeah,
and you're seeing snow and shit.
the snow's fine. It's like the frigid when the snow's gone shit. It's like the wind chill thing that kills me.
Yeah, it would be nice as shit out today if it was not windy, but the wind's keeping it kind of chilly.
Yeah.
What's new in the shop? Anything good?
Um.
You got your bagger back?
Yeah. So I got my bagger back here behind me. It's crazy about the bagger too. Is I think out of all the builders, I got mine probably last. I got mine in February, and I had no shop. Basically, like I was wrenching out of like my patio, and I got the bike, and I had to finish in 4 months. So I got the bike. My shop was built. I had no power, no nothing, and I pulled my toolbox in here and just started wrenching on this thing, and I was able to get this thing done in 4 months. That was like worthy of being at the show, but I also wanted to uh, change some shit and fix some things, and like I had these speakers installed, but they weren't hooked up to the harness. So then I finally finished that.
Right.
Just stupid shit, you know.
I couldn't remember if you got that thing whenever you were still in California or you were already in Tennessee.
No, I already moved here.
Okay, yeah. That ain't too bad. It looks good.
Yeah, it came out bitching.
Straight bagger dad, dude.
I mean, dude, you're gonna get there. I feel
We'll
like
get there at some point, I feel like.
when I first got into the Harley scene, I talked so much shit on baggers and everything that I do now. So it's beautiful. Cruise control. My first trip to Sturgis, I did a Sportster with no fairing,
Yeah, it's
like
probably sucked.
2,000 miles or something. And then my second trip to Sturgis, I did a CVO with like everything. And
I
like, dude,
remember seeing that. It was like a gunmetal gray one.
yeah, there's no
Yeah.
comparison.
Yeah, dude. It's easy to talk shit on a bagger whenever you don't have one and you're not riding one. But as soon
Oh,
as you ride one, you're like, whoa.
beautiful. And they handle fucking awesome. They're super great. That's like the only bike in my eyes that you could go to a dealership and the only thing you need to swap is the handlebars for positioning, and they're pretty bitchin'.
Yeah, that's sick.
You know, especially
Boogie,
the new.
where's the Pan Am? Where is the
Yeah.
Pan Am, dude?
Pan Am is over here. I guess we can go. We can make this thing a little more. So the Pan Am's a half lost cause. So
The old Pan
here's
America.
the old FXR, but this is the Pan Am. It's in the point where I'm robbing parts um, robbing parts off of it. Really great platform if fire roads and do minimal off-roading, in my opinion. The way I ride and you ride, it's honestly too fucking fast. It's like insanely fast.
I was really
And on top,
surprised how much fucking pepper those things had, dude.
oh yeah, you rode through all through Mexico and shit on that thing.
When you
You know,
turned off on the on road or off road plus or whatever, and you crack that throttle, you better be ready because the rear end's just cut like it starts swinging, dude.
dude, I put an 18-inch rear tire on mine with a gigantic knobby, and it's literally a chainsaw that just cuts through the dirt.
Yeah,
Um,
you.
power is great, but for the type of riding that you and I do, power like isn't always your friend. It's a lot
Yeah,
of burning rear tire, which makes it more squirrely. The bike's the way I had it built is really tall now. There's a lot of electronics, and it's just got a lot of things that just like didn't check the box for me. So then I got burned down on it, and then I moved here, and then I just got really heavy back into Sportsters. So I've just been kind of doing that, and then Harley gave me two Nightsters, and now that basically, for the most part, fixes a lot of my issues that I had personally with the Pan Am.
right.
So the Nightster is shorter wheelbase, it's lighter, it's not as fast. I think they're 975s, which, dude, honestly, they fucking rip too.
I don't know if
Um,
I've ridden one of the new. I don't think I've ridden one of those. I think it was just a Sportster. Is it a Sportster S or what are they now?
so okay, so under my impression, Sportster S, Nightster, and Pan Am are all the same base motor. It's
Right.
almost the I guess the S might be a 12. I think they're 1275s, and then the
Yeah.
Pan Am's a 75, and then the Nightster is like a 975 or
975. I did a
um
class on them whenever I was still working at the dealership, and like this was 3 years ago, but they like explained from the Sportster S to the Pan America, like the internals were a little bit different, and it was like the
probably.
same
But
displacement, but the Sportster S was slightly turned down. I think I'm not 100% certain. It's like I said, it's
the
been like 3 years since I took that class, but
the crazy part too is between Sportster S and Nicole here, there's a shit ton of interchangeable parts. The Nightster is not so much. So that's my issue I ran into on the Nightster is I need the gas tank on top and not.
where'd you go? The new Pan Am with 17 tires are sick. I don't know if this is still going or not. I did see those, the new Pan America with the 17-inch wheels look sick.
Oh, there
I
we are.
lost you there for a second. Did it?
Yeah, I don't know. I got a phone call and that might have messed it up.
Oh
Uh,
shit.
so I've ran into a mountain of fabrication, I guess, issues with the Nightster. I have to move the gas tank. I have to make a swing arm. There's a lot of like I have to do things on it right now for the off road one, but it does fix a lot of the issues I had with the other bike. So I think it's gonna be good. And honestly, I think it's gonna be really really light. Okay,
Yeah. I'm
light for
surprised your Sportster was what 400 and what pounds?
for
17?
14.
Dude, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, neither was I. I was like, oh, 450, come on. I was like, crossing my fingers. And then the scale said
That's
450.
pretty impressive.
And dude, I could probably lighten it up some more. There's some things that I want to change on there. And uh, I think I can keep it going.
I bet I'm sub 400 right now.
What was that?
I bet I'm sub 400 right now as my bike sits.
I don't know, man.
I
Our
have
bike's,
no front suspension on. I have no rear wheel. I have no swing arm. So I want to say I'm sub 400.
yeah, for sure.
Let
Yeah,
me see.
I saw the comment right
Yeah.
here. The Pan Am with the 17s. So that's like, in my eyes, what the Pan Am is perfect for. Ripping canyons, back road ripper, stuff like that. Sport touring, like what Oliver did from the cut rate. That's the sickest thing that you could do with Pan Am, I think.
Dude, with riding on roads, we rode from all the way down to Cabo, all the way back to San Felipe and back to Texas on these like squirrely ass roads, dude. And with knobbies on, I was still surprised how well they handled.
Yeah.
Like we just did roads the whole way back and was like, dude, I was like kind of scared to like lean it over. And I had to
Would you?
keep up with Dan, dude. Dan's a maniac on that motherfucker.
So what's your thoughts on the Pan Am?
I think they're sick, dude. I would like to do a lot of more touring stuff on one of them, but like
Yeah.
be able to ride two up, like if because I have my Dyna, dude. Me and Bailey were riding down in Big Bend National Park on some like dirt road kind of stuff, and it was like it was rough. But
Really?
dude, one of those would be next level, yeah.
And then you always have all the dudes trying to get your phone number because you're on a Dyna.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, I feel goofy riding a Dyna. I don't feel right on one, dude.
Okay, I've ridden a Dyna one time my whole entire life. Um,
You ride 'em about every day from what I see.
I've ridden a 2017 Lowrider S, which is like one of the cool ones to ride. And man, I rode it down the block and I fucking hated it. I didn't like it. The tank was too fat. Like, it's whatever to me, man. I either ride girls' bikes or I ride baggers. There's no in between. And that goes the same for the Softails. The Softail is a great platform, I think. I helped Harley debut that, and it's just not for me, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the Dyna's big. I get it. Like in the wheelie, like the wheelie guys fucking love them, dude. Like all my buddies that were riding Sportsters doing wheelies, they switched over to Dynas and they were like, "This is the shit." It, like a better balance point and everything. I just don't. I don't. I'm not a wheelie guy. I just use mine to. I have saddlebags and a big old couch seat still. You know what I mean? Like I just use it to tour around on. You know?
I know I have my Softail, and I rode it a couple times, and then I got hit by a car on it. Well, a car pulled out in front of me and just parked, and then I hit the fucking car going like
Oh,
40, and
God.
then it's just
The
been
white one?
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that thing.
Yeah. Luckily, I know how to eat shit, so I ended up walking away from that.
It knows.
Um,
It pays to know how to fall, dude.
yeah, it really does. And honestly, I can owe a lot of that to the hooligan flat track stuff. I have eaten shit for a million times, and I can crash pretty good now. So we got a
Hell yeah.
question. What do you guys, or when you guys do the 2118 on the Sportsters, how's the geometry feel compared to a traditional motobike?
Oh, that's my
Uh,
boy Sean, dude. Fast for fun.
Honestly, I always used to play around with the rake and everything on the flat track bike. I think Sportster, fuck, I can't remember at the top of my head. It's like 23 degrees or maybe like 24. Um, Honestly, jacking up the bikes the way we're doing it right now, 1821, everything seems fine. I don't ever get too technical with like geometry or sprocket sizes or just any of that. I'm really like simple bolt on all the shit and just hope for the best type of rider.
I
Um,
think they still work pretty damn good, you know. I noticed riding on the road, the way my bike's set up is a little bit floaty. Like, I mean, they're tall, dude. Like
oh
with
yeah,
that with that rear shock, I barely can touch the ground. My tiptoes, if I'm tiptoeing around the pits, it looks like I don't know how to ride a motorcycle. I
oh for
gotta
sure.
be moving, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But on the
Um,
roads, dude, it gets a little bit crazy.
I think it gets crazy too because of the knobbies.
The
We run
knobbies,
like
yeah.
knobbies.
I mean, the center of gravity's up pretty high whenever you jack them up like that.
Yeah,
Handling
but
wise in the dirt, it's great.
you add this much of a knobby, and you're floating a lot more.
Yeah,
I
and
think,
that weight, 400 pounds on full knobbies, like you're gonna feel it.
but also I don't want to ride that bitch on the street anyways. It sucks.
No, I rode my bike from
No
my
fairing,
house to
6 feet in the air.
yeah. It's not dialed to ride on the street.
Yeah.
You can
Um,
haul ass on some like hard packs still though, like the dry lake beds at the Mint. You could go as fast as you wanted.
I know, man. What's funny is that's like normally where I pick off a lot of people. Um, like every time everyone hits that, there's like a, what do you think? It's like a 2 mile dry lake bed or something, like one
I'd
mile.
be curious to know how far you rode on the flat like that.
It seems like forever
Far.
because it's scary as fuck.
It is
Uh,
scary.
I was just in. We have a hooligan group chat that some people are invited to that have hooligan bikes. I was telling them like I think I get like 4th or 5th gear on that thing, and you're fucking just like tucked and wide open, and
You got to tuck your helmet, dude. You lift your head up, your head's gonna get ripped back.
and what's scary too is I remember last year it was like there was like mud ruts from someone who got stuck.
I've gotten stuck on that lake bed in my camper.
Yeah, see, some dickhead like you ruining the track.
It was, dude. But no, you are your hauling ass. You can't just twitch to move around that shit. Like I hit the same thing. Like there was like a dually, like mud tracks, and
Yeah,
dude, you hit it, and it just was like sending your whole bike into like a crazy wobble for a minute.
yeah. Imagine being like fully tucked like this, and you're going like probably 100 miles an hour in
You're
the dirt,
definitely doing 100 miles an hour.
and then you hit like a fucking ditch like this that's like a full tire, and it's just like.
How well do those race techs or Olin's piggybacks actually absorb bumps?
I always tell everyone with suspension on Sportsters, Tyler and I have the same suspension pretty much. It's all not the best. Like you cannot compare it to a dirt. It's all shitty in its own way, but
There's only so much you could do.
yeah, there's only so much you can do because it's so heavy and it's a dual shock in the rear. The difference between Olin's is Olin's you're buying a not generic, but you're buying random like whatever settings they think that you're gonna ride on the street. You're buying that shock and putting it on a bike. Race Tech will ask you what you're going to do. They'll ask you your weight, the weight of your bike, and everything, and put all those variables in and give you a better um, end result for your suspension. So that's why I like Race Tech. They're all custom made shocks, and ever since I've started riding the dirt bike front ends with the Race Tech, man, I love riding my Sportster even more now. What
Race
about
techs are the shit. Good luck getting
you?
a hold of anyone from Olin's, dude. Jason broke his shocks. I,
Really?
yeah, dude. Broken. Those fuckers broke in half. Someone ran. I don't know. Something crazy happened, but I can't get a hold of anybody through there.
I think I'm a dealer for Olin's actually now that I
Give
remember
them
it.
a call for me. I don't know. We got to. I got to. Jason got to figure this out.
um, all right, so let's talk a little bit about you. Um, where are you from, and how old are you? And give me some details on Tyler.
Me, I'm just turned 30, dude. I feel like an old guy now. I
Damn,
just
well,
passed that threshold. I just turned 30. Um, I'm from Pittsburgh. I grew up in Pittsburgh, South Hills of Pittsburgh. I live in Washington County now. I got a bunch of cows for my neighbors. It's nice out here, you know. Um, been riding Harleys for I think over a decade now, dude, which is kind
so
of crazy to think about. When I got my first Harley, I would see videos that you were doing, and I was like, dude, I'm trying to jump my Harley. And my bike was like it wasn't set up to do that at all. You know,
what was your
I had an 8 over forks on it and shit. It was just like a stock swing arm sportster that was like half chopper, you know, like the same way how you started. You had a crazy Frank,
oh yeah.
you know, like you didn't know. But you know, that transition got into, you know, getting the right parts for these bikes in a sense, you know. And then a set of dirt tires goes a long way, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely been a learning curve. I mean, I came from a completely I get I've always had 2 Sportsters in the rotation, I've had my flat track one, and then I've always had, like, a jump Sportster, as I call them. And I've always had the most fun on those. Like, my most probably fond memories are, like, me and some of my old race team dudes, like, in the hills, riding, like,
Yep.
Mikey Vi and I used to have this other kid named Vince on the team, and riding with Mikey and Vince was, like, the most fun because 'cause we're all the same pace, like, kinda how you and I ride, and,
Yeah.
man, just like that time we went to Beaumont, that was so fucking fun, just shoveling jumps and jumping shit in the hills, and
Boom. Dude, and it was crazy that time period. It was so green, like wildly green. It was cool as fuck. But dude, I remember seeing videos of you and Mikey just ripping in Beaumont and shit, dude. And
yeah,
I built my silver Sportster. I built like Mikey's bike was like my like inspiration for it, dude. Like
yeah.
I was like, I need these like I decked it out like in a similar sense, but I wonder if he still has that bike, the old black and orange one.
Yeah, he's got all that shit. I texted him the other day, actually. I talk to Mike every now and then, but I miss Mikey a lot. I don't foresee him coming back to Hooligan. Um, I think he burned himself out on the racing, and I mean, I warned Mikey about what he was doing. He had to race.
I'd be scared. I'd be scared if he came back, dude.
He's fast. He had to
He's
fucking
fucker is fast.
everything for a couple years. And man, when you race everything like that and you win everything and you don't see any outcome, like in my eyes, he should have been a Ducati rider and they just never picked up on it. He was smashing on everyone on that thing, you know? And I think he just burned himself out. Now he's hanging out with his kids. His kids are riding BMX and doing a bunch of
I've been
badass.
seeing that racing and shit all the time and doing what's that bike park? Sky Bike Park?
Yeah,
Is that what it's
something.
called?
And then, do you know
Sky
what's funny?
something.
They always ride their local track is Bellflower BMX, and I used to ride there when I was a kid. And like, you used to have a skate park, and I used to get into the park for free because I would like do work on the BMX track.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. My local park or my local BMX track, South Park BMX track, it's been around since like the 70s, dude. It was like one of the OG, like known on the East Coast as like a sick like BMX track, dude.
that's tight. I was looking at Graham the other day that used to have a hooligan bike. It was like Destroy Motoco or something, and then he just I don't know what happened, but he just went MIA on the internet. But I was like looking through his old photos of his bike because he had a dirt bike swing arm on it. And I texted Mikey a screenshot of a comment that Mikey left on there, and I got it right here. It says someone tagged him on this dude's bike, and Mikey says, "Dude, your bike's so sick, straight up dirt sportster. I'll get there one day." And then
No shit.
yeah, I texted Mikey the screenshot of that, and I go, "You went to I'll get there one day to I never want to do this again real quick." Yeah, he uh. I don't know. That comment was 481 weeks ago. So
Oh shit, whatever that is.
yeah,
However that
whatever.
maths up.
Yeah, I met
Damn, that's
Mikey.
crazy, dude.
I met Mikey because his shop for his dad and him run a like they service like gigantic generators. Their shop was like a block from my old Rusty Butcher shop in Corona. And he just would start showing up one day and he was like, I want to build a bike. I'm like, fuck yeah, do it. And then he bought one and started building it. And then he like raced a couple times. And then I was like, why don't you race for Rusty Butcher? You're a block away and we can hang out, you know? And then, man, we've put some miles in the US doing fucking races and all kinds of stuff over the years.
I believe it, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. I remember seeing the videos of like your shop. You had that sprinter at the time, and you guys would load up in the sprinter and head out into the hills and shit, and just do cool shit.
Yeah, I miss doing that. That's for sure.
That's the kind of
Oh,
shit that like that time period was like whenever I first got into it. Like I bought my first. It was a 2000 Sportster. I still have it. It's my silver bike that I have. Like still have to this day.
didn't you
And
need a new or something?
what's that?
Isn't your crank blown on that now or something? Last time I saw it.
Yeah, something bad's in happening inside the motor there.
Yeah.
I haven't pulled it apart. I've ridden that bike plenty. You know how it goes. I mean, you've ridden a bike so much, you have other stuff that you want to get done and build and put your time into.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
You know, but
Um,
that bike will run again one day. I just don't know when.
yeah, that's always every bike's always on the back. This bike right here, I it's not been running since I think I raced the Mint 400 on it, and then after that, it just fucking would not run, and I could not figure out why. And it was almost like the timing was off. So then I thought maybe the ignition was off, and then I swapped the ignition and it was still doing it, and then I almost thought like maybe do you know the cams, the gear on the bottom? They have that Woodrow clip thing,
Hmm.
dude. Maybe I spun the fucking clip and the cams are just spinning weird, you know. And like
Possible, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
figure it out. I've done wiring on it. I've done new switches, new like I went through the whole fuel system. I like all of it. And do you know what it was?
What?
Spark plugs.
No way.
Yeah, because like years ago, I bought a box of these Acel spark plugs. So I just had a whole box of them, so I just always throw them in the Sportsters, put a new plugs in. And I think the gaps are too big or something fucked up on them. But yeah, I was
Damn,
pissed when
that's crazy, dude. I have had that happen, dude. Like some weird shit, and I'm like you're totally overthinking everything, and then it's just something dumb like that. Like
dog.
I've had it happen with spark plugs a couple times on my race bike. And dude, it was funny. I took my bike to the congregation. It was in the show, that my race bike. And dude, I went to leave and my bike was like running. I hadn't rode it since the Biltmore race. That show, like congregation was in, I don't remember when it was, October maybe, that Prism has. I go to leave the show, start my bike, and it's just firing on one cylinder. And I rode it out of the show on one cylinder looking like an idiot. I was like, oh my God, I feel so stupid right now, dude. But yeah, that's all
Yeah.
it was a dumb spark plug.
Yeah, I tested that skid plate the other day, and the fucking my I was like, I had to throw this other exhaust on there that tucks up a little bit more, so I wouldn't hit the log on the skid plate or on
Yeah.
the pipe. So then, like, I didn't put the exhaust in right, but I was also like chasing sunlight, so I had to just
Oh,
hurry
you
to
had an
just
exhaust leak on there?
yeah, and it sounded all stupid, so I had to put in the comments. I'm like, I fixed the exhaust leak. Don't fucking
I
say
seen
anything, you
that.
idiot.
I didn't hear it in the video, but I saw your comment that stated that.
Yeah.
Still
Um.
rocking my work sucks jacket. 8 to
So
10 years, that's a solid amount of time.
hold on, we'll get on the subject a little bit. Hold on, let me grab this thing.
Have you checked the air in your tires? Oh, not too often I do. Riding out is better than most SEMA. Riding out is better than most SEMA builds. Yeah, I don't. My porcelain wasn't cracked in my spark plug. I don't know, dude. I've had it happen probably 2 or 3 times.
All right, we're gonna talk a little bit about the infamous.
Oh God, I don't like that tank, dude.
That's
I do. I love it. I don't like it because you don't have to pit.
that's why.
Dude, I remember the fucking mint. The last year we both raced the mint. I was ahead of you to the first pit. And I'm like, all right, dude, I don't know where Mark went. And then I get to
I
the
was
pit.
like, you pulled into the pit, and I remember looking over, and you're like chilling, and you start eating a banana, and I looked over,
I
and I fucking swear, I remember going like this, like, come on, and then
didn't see you.
I know you look the other way, and all your dudes are just staring at me, all mad dogged, and I'm like, no, come on, I'm like, fucking, let's go.
I got
You know,
up. I see the distance. I'm like cruising again. I see it like some fucking black and yellow pants. I'm like, there's no fucking way. What the, like, what?
yeah, man, I was on a mission because dude, I've done five years of the mint or something,
Oh.
and it's something, dude. It's always something stupid that breaks or electronic or a motor blows, and like I was just on a fucking mission.
Yeah. Sometimes, dude,
So
you can't, you gotta just haul ass.
that's bird shit.
That ain't
Um,
bad.
are designed by I believe his name's Jim Carducci, and if you know of Carducci, he's I believe an engineer. I'm gonna have him on this YouTube thing. We can talk to him about things and see if he's ever gonna do these or whatever, and we can get into that. But I get asked about this tank all the fucking time. So Jim designed these tanks out of aluminum, handmade them all or whatever, and he has like the most insane Sportsters, probably the most high dollar Sportster in the game. Like I've talked to him a little bit recently. We'll get on it when I talk to him, but I think he's probably got the record for selling a Sportster for the most money anyone's ever gotten out of Sportster. He's a, if I remember him, he told me he was an engineer and he just designs parts for fun. And he decided to do all these Sportsters and shit, and then he did these tanks and somehow got linked with IMS. So IMS, if you guys don't know, makes desert tanks for dirt bikes. He sent them his design. They came up with the plastic version of this, and it's all rubber mounted. It's 5 gallon gas tank. They're super badass. He, I think there was like a dozen of them made. I hit him up the beginning when I was doing these 3 bikes and let them know I'm like, hey man, like we've talked a little bit here and there. I have this off-road race program I'm working on. Would you be down to throw a couple tanks? And he ended up replying a bit more, and he ended up giving me 3 tanks. So we became buddies after that and started talking a little bit here and there, and I've just kind of kept on it over the years. And I'm trying to go to bat for everyone. I'm not trying to be the only dude with a 5 gallon tank. I've asked him multiple times if he'll start selling them. He wants to keep them not in the public for right now, but if he does end up wanting to sell them, I think he's going to offer me the rights to do it. And if that ever happens and he decides to, then I will open it to the public and let the floodgates go. Um, but honestly, like, Tyler's excuse for losing to me always is going to be the tank, but it's not the tank. It's just because he's slow.
Dude, I told my all my buddies, I said, dude, I'm coming to the pit, fill me up, I don't want nothing. Just get gas in my tank and let's
You
go,
were eating
dude.
a
Do what I gotta
banana.
do. I like bananas, dude. That keeps my fingers fresh.
You gotta be a fucking hard piece of shit like I am and just die at the end of the race.
Yeah, that was
Yeah. Ugh. uh, it really does. I think your camera's slowing up a bit. Yeah. Um. So everyone always asks about them, but I hope maybe they're available in the future. Till then, Tyler can bitch about me having 5 gallons and him not. So, um, maybe it's because we look like Cheech and Chong. Recognize it. It's like half lagging on my end. I try to buy one, but yeah. Yeah, a lot of people always reach out to him, and I just don't. I don't know his reasoning. He just doesn't want him in the public, um, for the current time being. I
I
think he,
wonder how much R&R he's got into designing those things.
dude.
The dude seems smart as fuck.
Yeah, I can't wait to. I talked to him like a week ago, and I was like, "Hey, if I figure out this YouTube live thing, are you down to do one?" He said, "Yeah." So we can dive into all that, and I've dabbled a little bit with him, and like, man, he has like fully 3D printed like fucking air cleaners, and he has like so much fucking 3D work into his like mid controls, and it's pretty crazy what he's done. If you guys haven't seen his stuff, go to his Instagram, Carducci Dual Sport.
Carducci dual sport, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he said, I saw a thing that said he had 10.5 inches of rear travel. I was like, no way, dude.
The past couple days, I've been like watching YouTube videos that he's done interviews or like he's uploaded. His bike's pretty big.
It looks large, but it looks like it's set up like he's got it dialed in, dude. Like
It's
he's
dialed.
got it.
It looks long to me, but it looks dialed for sure.
I don't
So
know if his swing arm's longer or what. All his mounts moved, like his top ones are moved. I seen it, and then his swing arm's crazy, dude. Like it looks like you can slide where the um you could slide where the rear or the bottom swing arm shock mount. You could slide it forward and backwards.
oh, really?
Yeah, there's like multiple positions for it, dude. From what I looked in, like when I looked at it last time,
I
it
have
looks
so
wild.
many saved photos and screenshots of his bikes.
Yeah, yeah. I think I have a ton on my phone.
He cut off the rear shock mounts and added his own, and then he weighed them, and I think the rear shock mounts were 5 pounds.
Really?
The big cast ones.
Yeah.
So that's always been my
The
goal. Those fucking
like
shocks.
on the top, like the on the top on the frame.
Yeah, the top shock mounts that are casted.
Yeah, mine. I have an older frame, so they're like
Uh,
the mine's like the maybe mine is the cast one. I don't know, but it has like the fender like strut mounts that bolt in.
yeah, so you have the older style.
Yeah,
Um, I had. I don't know if you know that gnarly Davidson dude who like sells a bunch of Sportster shit on eBay.
yeah.
Uh,
Chew bam later, dude.
I had him weigh one of those frames. I think the older frames are I forget what he said. It's like almost 10 pounds lighter than probably a 92 or to 4 and up with the big castings.
That dude does a lot of stuff. Like he's
Yeah.
always going through bikes. I seen him weighing Ironhead motors, Evo Sportsters, and then rubber mounted Sportsters. Like he did that. He did that weigh comparison. I
No,
didn't see
really.
him do the frames though. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Well, I texted him on it. We like were
Oh,
DM.
really?
Yeah.
Fire. Yeah, that dude
Anytime
does
I
a lot of shit. I like that guy. I've never
anytime
met
I
him.
need a random Sportster part, I always hit up that dude, and he's got it for sure.
Yeah, I feel like I might have bought something off him before, or maybe twice. I don't know. I think he's down in Florida.
Yeah, he is. So I always tell people, let's talk about from your eyes the last time that remember at the Mint 400, I caught up to you, and then we found each other on the dirt on the track, and then what happened?
Oh, back in like the kind of single track, kind of like
Yeah, we're in like a
double
straight
track area.
single track sand wash.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
So
I was ready to go. You were ready to go, and neither of us were letting off, dude.
it was like one of those like cartoons where the two villains like or the villain and the good person are like see each other and they like lock eyes. And I
Yeah.
remember we came around a corner and we saw each other, and I remember we just like looked, and I remember just like shaking my head, yeah. And then we were fucking ripping, and then single track like trying to pass each other, like literally just trying to kill each other. And
Because you could take different lines. Like it wasn't like a single
very
line. There was like kind of you could weave in and out of like those small, I don't know, yuccas or whatever, dude. Everything out there wants to kill you though. Like
yeah.
nothing out there in Vegas was like forgiving on your bike or you or whatever.
I think
Um,
I finally went around you, and then I ate shit somehow. I don't remember what happened to me.
I don't know. I couldn't remember if you fell or like I came into a turn and like blew the turn up and just like went into a tree. And
No,
then
so
I
that's
couldn't.
so I think I finally like found some line and like quickly went around Tyler, but I was hauling too much ash to where I like stuffed it into something. And then Tyler like blows past me. And then I remember like you like looking back at me like, fuck yeah, you got it. And then Tyler just runs straight into a fucking cactus tree.
Dude, that year was crazy.
That
Speaking
was
of
not
Jake Pope, I miss you, Jake Pope. Dude, he had a fucking whatever those plants were stuck in
yeah,
his hand for weeks and weeks after. Was pulling like he would like send me a video of him pulling more of these like spikes out of his hand. I'm like,
yeah.
dude, how many of those, how many of those went through your skin, dude,
I
That year was
remember
bad with that shit.
so Tyler and I were like on a mission to beat each other, and it ended up both of us almost dying. And then we looked at each other, and I was like, "White flag, dude." And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "We'll deal with this later," you know. And then we ended up finishing the race, but fuck, that was gnarly.
Yeah, dude, a month straight of pulling cactus out of his hand. I remember that shit. The hand guards only do so much, dude. If a plant's coming up from the bottom, you know, it's still gonna stick you.
That's why I like those big fairings that I run. Um,
Yeah,
Speaking of which, I sent that big rally fairing off to Saddleman, and they're gonna make a mold of it. So hopefully, I
that
can
sounds fine.
how to make those to the public too. I
Those
feel
things
like
look sick.
if you had the rally fairing that I made and then the Carducci tank, the bikes would be unstoppable.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jake's a bitch. Are you gonna sell your Sportster still? If you are, then
He
sell
don't
your
like it, dude.
new Street Glider, whatever you got.
He's got a new street glide, dude.
805. If you don't drink 805, then fuck you.
I gotta get a way to get those things over here.
I'll figure it out for you.
And then I need to get some of that chamoy or whatever it is you put on the rim. I like that. I
Oh
ain't
yeah.
drinking 805 without chamoy, dude. I like that shit.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go grab that shit. Hold on.
I remember the first time you put some of that on my beer. I was like, I ain't drinking that. I don't know what the fuck that is, and it was good, dude. I got there's a good Mexican joint down the street from my house. It's like one of the it's like not a chain, but there's like three of them around Pittsburgh, and there's one in Washington. It's called Las Palmas, and
Uh
it
huh.
is like The only authentic Mexican.
Dude,
I ought to go inside there and see if they have any of that stuff.
you can take the boy out of California, but you can't
That's
take the
it, dude.
out of
That's
him.
it. I
So
would sell it for the right price, then I'll just build another one.
liar.
Damn, dude. I'm kind of
Liar.
jealous right now.
Yeah. Cheers.
Dude, the first time you put some of that on my beer, I was like, I'm not. Well, I ain't drinking that shit.
I hope this shit's not expired. It's been chilling for a minute.
It's been so cold down there, dude. It's frozen.
um all right, so I wrote down questions, but they're on my fucking phone to ask you. Um what got you into hooligan? You already kind of went over that. You saw some bikes like Mikey's and mine and like that.
Had
Um,
yeah, bad influences.
I see you as one of the guys spearheading what people think about hooligan racing. So,
Yeah.
in your eyes, what would you like hooligan racing to turn into as far as the off-road segment goes?
I don't really think I'd like it to turn into anything different than what it is now. Besides getting some more, I feel like the past 2 years, I feel like it was real hot for a while. Whenever I was like first seeing what it was like, first seeing it, and then like I feel like it chilled out a little bit, and then I feel like recently there's a lot of dudes building off-road sportsers for for racing. Every year at the Built Right race, there's 20 dudes in a class, which is sick, and it's there's more and more keep coming up, and I
So,
like
the
that.
one I've noticed. So, if you guys don't know, I was probably we were the first set to do this for the Mint 400. It was me, Mikey, um, Barry, and a few other dudes that showed up to the Mint. After the Mint, the first year, the second year, the Mint 400 kind of allowed me to spearhead the class. So then I came up with rules and all that shit. Not many, but a small guidelines to keep the the like hooligan class pure and what I think hooligan racing is, which is blue collar, no pros, just a bunch of retards out there to have fun. And I really want to keep that alive with hooligan racing. And it seems like every time I take a year off, it just fucking dies down. And I'm so loud with everything that like it just gets exhausting for me to keep up on doing this shit all the time. So like last year at the Mint, I think two people showed up to race. I think it was. And like I didn't show up last year. So I realized that I have to kind of be involved. I've started this hooligan off-road group chat, and I'm going to hopefully help those guys get more involved and be more vocal. And the one thing that was cool about hooligan flat track is it got so big for free. And I think that's fucking cool to safeguard that guys like yourself can jump into this and get a fucking helmet sponsor, life sponsor, and all this stuff. And as long as you take care of the sponsors, this thing will just keep growing and growing and growing, you know? And the hooligan off road thing is it's new, it's fun. I want to steer it in other directions too. I want to do enduro cross, like very more of like a slow pace, like seeing if we can crawl over shit. I would like to get more into motocross stuff, which I know you'll like. But I definitely think keeping it somewhat the same what it is. Um, Anytime I come up with any type of new rule set, I always ask everyone's opinion and I kind of base it off of that. And I'm right there with you. I think it needs to stay fun and not be about drama or bullshit and a bunch of pros showing up and about money. And I've always been against like purses. Like if you win a purse in a hooligan flat track race and they know it's like say you're going to win $1,000 for the race, everyone will kill each other for the $1,000, and like it's not worth getting your ass fucking ran over for $1,000
Yeah.
for. So I think no money, more sponsors is good. And if a lot of the dudes have questions on how they want to get sponsored or learn how to do this shit, then hit me up. I've kind of like spearheaded being a Harley dumbass influencer, and it's worked my advantage. I'm trying to teach Tyler this too.
I'm not good. I'm not quick at picking up stuff.
You're doing good. You got a marketing deck. That's fucking.
We got to start. We're getting there, you know.
You
But
know,
yeah, I agree. I think the way, you know, I think there's a lot of, you know, dudes that are building these bikes that, you know, are coming out of the woodworks, dude. You know,
yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
know we went on that Sportster summer ride last year. I didn't know what to expect. I did not expect 28 dudes all on Sportsters to show up in Wellsboro, Pennsylvania. You know, I showed up and I'm like, holy shit. You know, it was
Are
pretty
you
crazy.
are you doing it this year?
Yeah, I got to figure out what day I'd like to go out on Friday and start the ride with everyone. I have like prior stuff that I have to do on Saturday, but it's like 3 hours away from my house. I know. But I already committed to it, so I got to do it. And so I don't know if I'm going to start the ride with everybody on Friday and then drive home for early Saturday morning, and then be back Saturday afternoon.
Oh, if you could be back Saturday afternoon, that's not too bad.
Yeah, the dealership that it's a dealership show. It only goes on till 4 o'clock, so I could be back there 4, 5, 6, 7 by 7 by
And
just
just meet.
sunset, dude. A nice sunset ride.
Yep. So
So
I really want to do some sort of that version in Tennessee. Honestly, I met one of my neighbors recently, um, and he sent me. I said I'm new at all the legit dual sport shit. He sent me all these like maps where I had to download this app, and it shows all these riding things. I got Bill from Billwell texting me. Shut up, Bill. Um, it showed it, so it's all these maps and everything. So there's like a shit ton of trail riding out here that I didn't even know that I'm super close to. So I
what do
might
you
try to set.
use? Do you use like a what is it?
I think it's called
Something.
Gia.
Oh,
GH.
Gaia, Gia, yeah. I've
Yeah,
used that before. When I would go out west, I would like camp at like OHV riding spots or like in a national forest or whatever, and I would use that app. I would use Onyx Off Road was a good one.
really.
Um,
So he
it's
sent
like
me all these things that I downloaded into Gia that are all these rides that are mapped out or whatever, and they're all like
yeah,
really close to me. They're like 15 miles away from my house. That are like
that's pretty sick.
130-mile fucking loops of like,
No shit.
yeah. So I'm gonna
That'd
try to
be
figure out.
interesting to check out.
And also, I'm working on. I'm not going to say where or what. If anything works out, I'm going to be stoked. But I'm trying to do my own hooligan 100 race in Tennessee. So
That'll be fire.
yeah, so that'd be
Definitely
cool.
come down to that. I think it'd be a good turnout.
I think a lot of East Coast dudes will show up. I think everyone from California will be a sissy. Like California, shit. No one likes to drive anywhere in California. It's not within an hour. We can maybe get like Rich. Rich Silva would probably show up.
I think we could do some convincing to get Rich here. Rich is the man. Rich, like, dude, I've raced the Mint with Rich 3 times. The first Built 100 I met Rich at, he was giving me oil because my oil plug went. You know how it goes. But dude, he's just like the people's fucking people. Like he helps
Yeah,
everybody out. Will give anyone information. He's an awesome dude. I like that guy.
yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good fucking guy to have in your corner for sure. I like
Yeah.
Rich. Literally, their thing is good times racing. He's literally there for good times, and that's what hooligan racing is. And he's been in the hooligan game for a long time with the flat track stuff. Um, it's always good to see him. He's really involved in the hooligan group chat that we have, and I'm pretty stoked on that. So, yeah, he's a good dude. And
Yeah.
speak, sorry, I don't even know the last time I've had 2 beers within a 30-minute fucking window. But check this out, the product. I'm over here being a big product guy now.
Big product development.
That's a fucking oil cap
That's a
expansion.
lifesaver right there, is what it is.
Yeah, so these will be out soon because of guys like you. I bet your fucking boot was covered in oil too.
Dude, I don't know how that happened first lap.
Oh
And
yeah,
dude, I
no,
that is definitely why my bike is blown up to this day. But
yeah.
Yeah, your boot rides at the right height, and it will pop your cap straight out. You know,
Oh, so
and
you're it out. I always thought like the pressure just.
the pressure will push it out at some point, but my boot was like at the perfect height, and like the top of my boot would like push it out or like get caught on it and just make it send. But yeah, it's happened to it's happened to my cousin Jason. It's happened to every dude I know
Literally all
that
of
was
us.
running that setup.
So my first mint, I got tahine on my face. So my first mint, um, I had electrical problems. So I had a buddy build some bags for me, and he didn't put the bag mount to the frame. So it literally like this is my rear fender. So it weighed down my rear fender, and I had a ground that was on like on the seat part of the frame right there, and it kept ripping the seat bolt out.
Oh shit!
Wow.
How do you switch this around? The Slim Fab tank, dude.
Yeah.
What
So
oil tank? Yeah, old Slim Fab tank. I see he plumbs a lot. You can get it on the side still. I did mine up top though. Are you running yours on the top or on the side, Mark?
So I have one on the top, which is cool because it's out of the way, but it's also a pain in the ass. So the newest one I bought is the side one.
Yeah. I like the top mounted one. I want to keep everything as low profile as possible. So I did the top. I just have my seat held on by a wing nut. It's pretty easy access, and I just run top fill and then the oil plumbing's on the bottom. So I don't have anything on either side.
Do you know one thing I'm going to try to do? And I don't know if I can pull it off.
What?
I want to 3D print or have plastic oil tank made.
You want to do what?
3D print or plastic oil tanks.
That'd be pretty interesting. If
So
for
the
what? You just think it would be a little bit lighter or what?
yeah, rubber mount Sportster tanks are plastic. So
That is true.
I want to do a small triangle tank for Sportsters that's plastic and it's like a cheap fucking part that weighs nothing. Because
Yeah.
the Slimfab tanks are fucking amazing. I think they look great. Slim's an awesome dude. They're just a little on the heavier side. And I'm only counting pounds because I have like a goal to make a Sportster under 400 pounds. So this is just my idea is to like keep knocking that weight down.
You're
Honestly,
close, dude. I was surprised
I'm
how light that was.
I'm honestly really surprised. That makes me think that my flat track bike is probably 400 pounds.
Yeah, this pause definitely pause. I mean, with that small little, what is it, a fiberglass tank on there?
Yo, it's tiny. Yeah,
Yeah, really small.
it's like two Capri Suns. Look here.
Jake, what leaks on the top?
I'm guessing
Rear
his.
controls. Rear controls are the shit, dude. Mark doesn't like them. I love them, dude. You say I look like I'm riding a stand-up jet ski.
So Tyler, okay. So I came up with a photo the other day. Okay, so let's say this is the front of the bike. My feet are like this, which is not ideal. It's not good. So then Tyler's are like this. I'm trying to make a set that are in the middle. You know, I want to be straight down. I don't want to be as far back as you because, like, you're like stretched when you ride.
I'm right underneath my swing arm pivot point.
You look dumb.
But look, if you put your shit any farther forward, then you're gonna be over your fucking primary. I guess my foot's still, you
Okay,
know.
show me the side of that.
Yeah, look, there's my swing arm pivot point,
Okay,
and
so
there's
I
my
want
foot.
to be 2 inches further forward.
Yeah. My thing is, if you put it all the way forward, you're gonna be fully out around your primary. Right now, my feet is. I seen a picture and I was riding all goofy, but like I like having my shit to be able to pinch my knees into my seat and everything. Same. I just need 2 inches. Don't we all just need 2 inches? We lagged up.
What was that?
Did I lag or did you lag?
We have some. Maybe we both did. I can't really fuck with the internet here.
Fucking freezing, dude.
I'm good. We're chilling. Yeah. So I've always ran mid controls for one reason only. I can have 3 sets of spares in the pits, and the one thing that I've come to realize that everyone always shows up to the mint with rears that are custom made, or they might be some brand that makes like rear sets, and if you guys break them, you're fucked because there's
I've done it.
no, you know, yeah, most people break them. So mid controls, man, they just take a fucking beating. It sucks to ride on them that far, but you know, you gotta be a man. I think you're frozen.
Yeah.
What do we
Someone
got for
asked, "Are
fucking?
you gonna bring back the pegs?"
Where do we get all these comments? Am I not getting all of them?
I don't know.
The
I made a
Rusty Butcher.
set of rear similar. It felt weird riding. Need a happy medium.
Yeah,
The
so
rear
I'm trying.
sets are there's a lot of R&D in making a good set of rear sets. I feel like mine have been solid. Like a lot of people break them, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
So as of today, I reached out to someone who's friends with. I'm not going to say names yet, but I reached out to someone who's friends with a company that used to make them and is gone now. I'm going to see if it's an option if I can buy their design. So
People want them, but a lot of people are making. There's I like a lot of the guys' designs that are doing. They're bolting them on from the back motor mount. I like that. Mine are like kind of like a mix between. Mine are like
yeah,
welded on the left side, and um, it works. Everyone's different. Everyone's gonna do different shit, try different shit. I haven't changed mine just because I haven't broke them. You
yeah.
know?
I mean, if it fucking works, fuck it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want to be that far back. It's gonna bug me. So I've not done it. I think mine will be sprocket cover, and then it'll be a bolt-on thing on the other side. So I like the idea of doing the rear motor mount too, but I think my goal would just be to do the fucking sprocket cover on the other side. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
The rear motor mount thing is stout. Like you know, you can use some fat material and you're not gonna probably break those things.
Really, huh?
Yeah,
Maybe.
but like my right side, like I've cased some shit and like, you know, I think I would like to run dirt bike style. If I were to change anything, I would switch. I'm running Harley like the clevises, like the peg mount, like the for the foot peg. I would switch to a dirt bike style that has the two bolt.
My foot peg rear sets I'm gonna do with 450 CRF foot
Yeah.
peg. So then
Yeah,
it's
I
like
think because we had to make some changes to where I was having issues with my whole peg would spin because it was just
okay.
bolted on by one bolt.
Let's go over that. Let me grab something. Oh man.
Dude, being overbuilt is better than being underbuilt. It sucks going to a race and then you break your shit and then you're shit out of luck.
Yeah, especially like going to the mint and you spend $600-700 to race. You spend $1,000 on hotels, and you got a couple $100 in gas. Thousands of dollars into a race, and something
To
breaks.
break something, yeah, shit sucks. I'd much rather have something overbuilt than underbuilt for sure.
So these are my old foot pegs that we used to make, and I'm gonna try to figure out something similar. But here's what I designed because the Harley foot pegs are stupid. The the bolt on the Harley foot pegs, when you jump and you add pressure, it breaks the bolt loose. So then we came up with this one where it's a stainless steel knurled peg, and this just clamps on like a handlebar. So once you clamp these, they don't fucking move ever again.
Yeah, it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. So this is the most overbuilt fucking, probably one of the most expensive foot pegs in the Harley industry that we did with our friends at Alley Art. But he just sent me. He had a couple leftover pieces, and I had a couple leftover pieces, so I was able to make um, 2 more foot pegs. But yeah, we'll see. I'm into the idea of doing foot pegs again. I'm not 100% yet, but I run these on all my bikes still, and they're fucking awesome. So I'm glad I still have a few pairs. I made mine out of 120 wall too. Sports. Probably was overbuilt. Yeah, overbuilt's good. I thought it was cool. Guy on my 83 broke off a little chip on the back of the road.
You break your
Yeah,
right side or left side? The sprocket bolts, the stock sprocket covers. You've gone through plenty of them. I've gone through plenty of them.
see?
So it's cool that you're making new sprocket covers that have some
Yeah,
beef to
break
them.
your shit and buy one of these. I'm trying to come out with very uh, cheap Sportster products that last. Um, the one thing I've learned over the years is Sportster guys do not like to spend a lot of money on their parts. So I'm trying to come out with really competitive pricing, really solid products. Sprocket cover, I did just something to look cool and it's a little bit beefier. These axle adjuster blocks, and then today I did a finished sample of our fucking skid plate. That's like the thickest fucking steel ever, but this skid plate is super beefy. This is,
Stout.
dude, this thing is gnarly. Um, it's fucking.
I like it. Yeah. I believe that. I believe that. Yeah.
And
Sick.
this was just a test. I like talking to Tyler, so we
Good old
talk weekly.
tester.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, if you guys got any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If you're building an off-road hooligan bike, shoot me or Tyler DM, and we'll add you to the hooligan off-road um, group chat. There's like 55 dudes already, but you have to be owning the Sportster and already building it. I don't want to see stock fucking bikes. So I'm trying to be a little bit picky about it. I'm trying to make some rules so I can help our group of dudes, very specific, build their bikes, get to the races, and whatever else. Tyler, always a pleasure. I hope to see you again soon.
Oh
Tell
yeah.
you what's up. Make sure your chickens are good outside, and I'll probably see you soon, buddy.
Sounds good, man. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Take care.
Peace out.